That's 7. We ain't supposed to talk about it.
I'm sure I'm glad we didn't go to that race with all that weather.
After it was over, I was glad I sat in a level cross in my living room, and
especially after the way we run.
well, with
that didn't help any.
The cars didn't run very good, but the weather was terrible, and I don't know. I guess it was terrible for everybody.
It looked like people walking around with boggins on.
Yeah, and of course we got to see 2 races that day, and it looked like the Chevrolets are still the dominant cars in the point standings.
They run really good, that's for sure. The deal is that track was just flat wore out, and it was wound up being a Howland racetrack, wore the tires out, and whoever wore the tires out the quickest went backwards. So I don't guess I'll have to worry with that no more.
Did we ever run a racetrack that was wore out that bad, Richard?
Probably did. We didn't look at racetracks being wore out. They was what it was, and you didn't have the coverage. People didn't say it's wore out, we can't handle it. You just set up for whatever it was
and make adjustments as we went along. And but you're talking about cars wearing the tires out, but tire management was big, no question about it. And it's probably the first race that the pit stops wasn't that critical, because if your tires were better, you could pass somebody.
Yeah, that's one thing about it. It's sort of like Wilkesboro used to be. If you had new tires, man, you could run like a son of a gun for 15 or 20 laps.
But the 9 car finished second, and he came from the rear, and I thought the 43 was going to be okay for a while, and then I don't know, it seemed like our tires went away quicker.
That's what it looked like.
I don't know where, if your car ain't just exactly right, then you can't make your tires last. Right. You got to use them more.
But we don't know whether the car got loose or got to pushing. But when you start wearing out tires, if one goes away, the whole car goes away.
And that's probably what it was. And I remember years ago we used to, when we was running, maybe even before radios or anything, and we had a longer wheelbase car and everything, you could ask me which tire was wearing the more, because you could either put it on the front or on the rear, and you used to call it a forgiving car.
All that stuff's so much different.
And
even with a 43 car, he was running 12th, 14th, something, wound up 19th, I guess. But he said right there at the last, he thought he had a flat tire. Yeah, so he was slowing up just to make sure he could make the race.
It was certainly an interesting race, I guess, but Kyle Busch done a great job. There's no question about it. And
he was the best overall, because he started, was able to run up there, and he'd run up and get close to the one car, and then the one car would get away from him. But then when they beat him out of the pits and stuff, the game was over.
But he got caught for a speeding penalty too, and had to go to the rear. So he overcome a lot of handicaps.
He was way the best car.
Exactly.
And for some reason, the best car won.
Yeah, and he probably wound up being really experienced driver. Didn't hurt any either.
Yeah, we'd won 18 years. We won a race, and Kyle was tied with us. And then when he went out there, now he's 19 years. He's won at least one race. So took another record off of us.
We want to boo him. No, he done a great interview too, and he kind of looked like a different Kyle Busch to me, and
he looked kind of calm for a change.
Exactly, and but he's been at the head of his throne for a long time, and it says a lot for the Childress organization too. Maybe Reddick had a good car is the reason he was running so good last year, because you can't grade the cars, because last year they had 19 different winners, and they've had 2 different winners this year, so I don't know what it's going to turn out to be in 2 races. There's
going to be a bunch of different winners this year too.
And I don't know where, you talking about records, I don't know where everybody will beat you 10 in a row or not. Maybe if they do, we'll certainly boo him. Well, I hope they get the 42 and the 43 a little bit better, and It's hard to.
Yeah.
That was
Vegas is completely different.
Exactly.
Completely different ball game. So until we run on a track like that, we don't know who is going to be the standard bearer this year, because the race in California was so much with the tires and with the handling of the car, and I think the cars will all handle a little bit better in Vegas, so might be back to driving again.
But it will be to everybody. So.
Oh yeah, and
it's like we talked about, our cars didn't run that good, but all it takes is one good race to turn that around. And I hope Mary will give me some money to play the slot machines.
Good luck.
Perfect. Thank you.
Perfect. We're good. Not perfect. Really good.
Yeah.